Let your light so shine that men will see your good works and give glory to your Father. Hi and welcome to True Yarn with Basi Upaha, and this is the biggest show online, and if you argue with me, go and check the ratings. Alright, so today we'll be talking about the importance of uplifting others. Like, why is it important to uplift someone else? What does God say about it? I just read something from Matthew 5:16 where God is saying simply that the reason why he wants you to uplift someone else is so that people will see it and give glory to his name. It's that simple. The reason you are where you are today is because someone else has probably helped you in one way or the other. So there are people around you who God have put in your life for a reason. Know this. We are all connected, and there's nobody around you that God has not put in your life for a reason. If God has not put the person in your life for a reason, you would know. But there are people who are probably disturbing you right now, telling you, I'm into this, I'm into that, or can you just be my mentor or something? Yes, it's not that you'll be uncomfortable doing it, but the thing is, where you can, try as much as possible to help someone else. And I would just like to throw some light into it. I remember my journey going into broadcasting. I started as a voiceover artist. Back then I had this Symbian phone. I would just go through almost all the videos I could lay my eyes on YouTube about voiceovers. I will watch and watch until I run out of data, watch them over and over again, and then I had the opportunity of meeting someone who had a studio, and he just said to me, Basi, you have an amazing voice. Don't worry, just come over to my studio and we'll do a couple of takes, and you have a demo that you can play to some other person. And that was it. I went all the way to Benin City just to record my voice. And trust me, we spent the whole night. Like, he was trying to work it out and say, your voice will be good for so and so. You should try and focus more on this and that. And that was it. He was helping me out. And we talked and talked for a long time. And that was how I got my first demo. When I got back to school, I played it to my friends, and they listened and they were like, oh my word, Basi, this sounds so good. I can't believe this is you. And me, I was still in awe. I was like, because I didn't have any recorded version of my voice before. So I just said, wow, this is God working and all of that. So God used that guy to shine the light on my talent. And from there, I started meeting other people, getting one or two small jobs here and there. And then I met someone else who was a full-time radio presenter. I pitched myself to him, and this guy was like, yeah, you have a good voice, but you're still a bit rough around the edges. I think we can work something out. And that was it. After a while, this guy didn't even, from my mind, I was like, this guy's never going to call me. But the thing is, he finally called me one day and said, Bas, meet me up at this studio. That's how I flew to the studio. I remember rushing. I was like, I can't miss this appointment. I went there, and he gives me a script. I get into the recording booth, and that was how I had a tongue twister. Just to pronounce offices, I started saying offices, and dude was laughing at the other end. And then after a while, he just said, Basi, don't worry, come out. You go back in and you do other takes. And I was like, okay. At first, I thought he was done. Probably I didn't pass the test, but he said, no, this is how it works. You go back in and you continue until you get it. As I went back in, I continued. I think I did up to take 50. But finally, I got the recording, and after that, I kept hearing my voice on different radio stations. Like, this guy kept calling me for jobs, and yeah, the money was small then, but for me, as far as I was learning, and as far as I had someone that I could call when I was stuck trying to work out a particular script, because then he taught me how to script. As far as I had that person to call to just say, I need your advice, can I meet you up at your office? I'll just run to his office, I'll meet him up. And he connected me to someone that had a radio program that gave me a part-time job. Yeah, that guy gave me a part-time job. Then he was selling inverters. He had a business radio show. I remember very well. He had a business radio show. So I used to help him out with the edits. I used to do voiceovers and all of that. And he gave me an official phone. Yeah, and a couple of times, I had to go to his office and meet with clients and all of that. So he just, like, that journey for me, like, it means a lot because someone or a couple of people assisted me, and even down to getting my very, very first entertainment job. I went into the office and the lady saw me. I remember I got there around 7 a.m. The first I got there around 7 a.m. and I didn't meet her. I left there around 4 p.m. This was in Lagos. I went there the next day again around 7 a.m. because Lagos, you have to leave your house really early, especially if you're staying on the mainland. You have to go to the island. So I left and I got there at 7 a.m. again the next morning. Like 7 past 7, I got there. And then I finally met her. She says, "Oh, well, looking at your certificates, you're not really in entertainment. So what are you doing here?" I said, "Ma, I am talented in voiceovers. I can do scripting. I can do production." And she was like, "Oh, really?" Before she even said Jack, I just looked around her office and I started advertising everything. I was just there going, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look at it." And she was just looking at me like, is this one okay? But truth be told, after that session, she just said, "You know what? Drop your number here. Do you have all your details here, all your documents?" I said, "Yes." I dropped them. And that's how they called me in for an internship after like a month. After I'd almost cried at home saying, "Oh, that's why I missed out on that opportunity." But they called me back, and that's how I started my internship. And then they retained me as a full-time staff. And these were humans that God used in my life to help me into this industry. And here I am today, running my own podcast, starting my own podcast. So there are people around you that God has put in your life for a reason. They're not there just for you to be seeing their fine faces. They're there for a particular reason. So it's just for you to ask God, like, "Oh, okay, who are the people in my life that you want me to assist?" If you're in that position to help them with cash or to help them set up shop, why not? So look around you. There are people that need your help. There are people that need your assistance. There are people that just need you to make a phone call. Try as much as possible to be that person that uplifts someone else. Because when you do that, I said it at the beginning of the show, that when you do that, it's not because of you. It's because God wants other people to see it. When you help someone, me practically, when someone helps me, I tell the person thank you. And then after a while, when I'm thinking of what the person did for me, I'm like, "Oh my word, like thank God." Like I just say, "God, thank you that you used that person to help me." That is what God wants. He wants us to be a channel of His blessing, not a container, a channel to continually help people, reach out to people. Okay, so as much as possible, take something out from this episode today and be that person who helps to uplift his or her brother. And yeah, if you liked this episode, kindly share across social media. Remember, you can send a mail to trueyarnmedia@gmail.com, or you can visit the Instagram page at trueyarn. And yeah, a couple of people send me voice notes here. So if you have an account on Anchor, you can actually send me a voice message, and I'll be very happy to listen to it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And remember, you are God's masterpiece, and He's not done with you just yet.